Hey gang, Ray Glasser once again from Cleveland, Ohio. Today is November 6, 2024, and this is the last video I'll be taking of my precious Japanese market Betamax, the SL-J7, which I've had since October of 1980. This was a wedding gift from my wife Mickey, and this weekend I will be selling this thing. Something I thought I would never do, but I don't use a machine anymore. It's not Super Beta or Beta Hi-Fi, and I'm getting some good money for it, so it's going to go bye-bye this weekend after all these many years. So I thought I would do the ultimate video tour of this incredible Betamax in 4K video. This is a 1979 Betamax, very similar in some ways to the American SL-5800 deck. It's X1 and X2, does not handle X3 at all. And these buttons are total solenoid control buttons, which I will get to later in the video. There's the top cassette hatch, of course in Japanese. Over here are settings for the timer, the clock. This switch here is actually a setting for the display. You can make it bright or dim. Some of the early Betamaxes had that. I did a tour of this back in 1980 when I first got it, and it was done with a very old Sony camera, and this one is going to blow that away in terms of picture quality for sure. Real quickly, here's your power button. It's off, that's on. This is for your timer when you want to do a timer set. Here's your clock in military time, oddly enough. And up here are the 7 days of the week in Japanese. Over here is the eject button. Rewind, stop, play, fast forward, record with the Beta 1 or Beta 2 light below it, and pause. And over here is what makes this machine unique. 2 dedicated Beta scan buttons. The thing I like about this machine is the way these buttons are made, you can access them from the top or from the front of the machine because they curve over here, which I think is a really cool thing. Down here is a triple speed playback button. Over here is your audio dub button. This, I believe, is for still frame. And over here is your TV or VTR button. Now what makes this thing so cool, and I've got a tape going in this. Hit the play button. And looking up here on my TV, it's playing a movie that never came out on pre-recorded called The Stranger from 1970 with Len Corbett. Anyway, I'm playing this tape, and the nice thing about this particular Betamax is you can go from one function to the other without hitting stop. Right now I'm in play. Now on a normal American Betamax, if you wanted to go in a beta scan from the play mode, which is going on right here, you hit the fast forward button. But guess what? When you hit fast forward on this machine, you are in fast forward. There's no picture. And you can hear this machine is hauling ass. To get the back of the play, you just push the play button and you're back on a play. Right there. Now to get beta scan, now we're in the play mode. Here's beta scan in reverse, beta scan in forward. So if I hit this button, I'm now scanning in forward beta scan. If I hit the reverse button, recording in beta, it's playing back in beta scan reverse. And this, by the way, is an X2 tape, not hi-fi. It's not super beta. It's a standard old-fashioned Betamax tape. I love these 2 dedicated beta scan buttons. Again, the American machines do not have this. All right, here's some more controls of buttons and all that on the front of the deck. We have on the far left a end alarm switch, and what that does is if you're fast forwarding or playing a tape and that switch is activated, listen. You get a bunch of beeps to let you know the tape is at its end, and in this case it's automatically rewinding. Alright, back to the switches. For the far left, you have an end alarm switch on or off. To the right of that is a program indexing switch on or off. In the center, we have a beta noise reduction switch, which is BNR on or off. Next to that is an audio monitor switch for channel 1, channel 2, or both. Next to that is a dual sound selector lamp. And the far right is an auto stereo switch. Now below the deck, we have even more things. You have your audio and video input connectors. Then you have an input selector switch to line in, tuner, or camera. And then next to that is a camera connector, the standard cake connector for the Sony video cameras. And there are more controls here. Over here is your tracking thumb wheel, which has a really wide range of tracking. Next to that is your record switch, beta 1 or beta 2. And over here might be 2 headphone jacks, I'm not sure. I have some of the Cleveland channels programmed here because back then, before we had digital TV, I could record off these channels on this machine. And of course there is NHK. Up here we have the typical 3-digit tape counter. Over here are settings for your different tuner channels. All in beautiful Japanese, of course, which I do not read. Here we have Beta 1, Beta 2, SL-J7. So there we have that. Here's a jack for the remote control, and this is the original factory remote control, which has a whole bunch of standard features. Here's beta scan, triple speed forward, rewind, and you can go right from rewind or fast forward in a rewind because it's total solenoid control. Back into play, and I can't tip this camera up, and now it's playing tape again. There we have it. So that's the front of the machine. I still think this is a great looking Betamax. Here's the back of the machine. This is some kind of antenna instructions that are still pasted to it. There's your antenna inputs. Here you have the outputs, video out, left and right out. I'm not sure what this is for. I'm guessing maybe PCM with this plug that I've never removed. And over here is I think an unswitched outlet. And there's the infamous plate. And by the way, inside here on top of the machine, this right here is a switch for 50 or 60 cycles, since different parts of Japan are in 50 or 60 cycles. So that's it. The last look at my precious 1979 Japanese market SL-J7 Sony Betamax X1 and X2 machine will be out the door this weekend. I've enjoyed this machine. I've gone through at least 2 sets of video heads, and as you can see, there's some wear by the function buttons here because I've used it so much. This thing has seen a lot of use. The video head inside it right now is fairly new. I haven't used it that much since they invented Super Beta and Beta Hi-Fi, so I really have not given this thing much use in the last 20 years. But it's going to a good home this weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video. Yes, I will miss this machine, but again, it's not Beta Hi-Fi or Super Beta, so I just don't really need it. Let somebody else enjoy it. Ray Glasser from Cleveland, Ohio, in November of 2024. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. And here is the original owner's manual. Still in pretty good shape for being 40-some years old. All, of course, written in beautiful Japanese. So if you can read Japanese, you can read this. I can't, and I can't.